Hello. So I wanted to touch on a subject which sometimes comes up when talking with clients, and that has to deal with foreclosed properties and whether or not they're a good deal. So I'm going to talk first and foremost about some things that are always true with foreclosed properties, and then sometimes things that are sometimes true with foreclosed properties. On the always true category, what you're going to go and find when you're purchasing a foreclosure is the bank that owns the property is going to go and have for you their own set of documentation in terms of what they want to see for the sales contract. And reviewing through numerous of these contracts, I can tell you, compared to our local real estate contract, the agreement certainly favors the seller without a question. You have financial penalties built in if you don't have certain target closing dates met. You've got a lot more as-is, whereas language, limited liabilities to the seller, etc., etc. What's also always true in these cases is they're going to offset what traditionally is paid for by the seller locally, which is Erie County transfer tax, which is at a rate of about $9 per thousand. You can save 1% of the sales price. So if it's a $200,000 house, $2,000, to the buyer. If it's a $400,000 house, $4,000 to the buyer, and additional closing costs. They're also not going to pay for an updated search. They're not going to pay for an updated survey. You've got at least about another $1,000 with those expenses that you, as the purchaser, should pay for. Certainly, you want to go and know what the survey is and the search is on your property. And those are automatically out the gate, always going to be additional closing cost expenses that you're seeing with them. The sometimes and usually category of foreclosures, you're going to find where they will have utilities off, particularly during the winter time. If it didn't pass a pressure test in the water, you're going to see where maybe the electrical is off, maybe the gas is off to the property. You can occasionally get them to go and reinstate these services to actually do a full inspection. If not, you're having to assume basically that these things don't work, don't operate. It's also going to be something that's going to prevent the home from being able to be financed by a mortgage. It's going to have to go through a cash-only purchase in such a case. And if you do go and have them reinstated, many times they'll go and charge you as the purchaser to go and have utilities to get turned on and then to get turned back off. So inherently there's a lot more risk that you're dealing with in not being able to do your full series of inspection tests on the home you're about to buy. So is it a good deal? Only if it's priced considerably below market and it's really something that you want to buy. Otherwise, out the gate, you're coming in with several $1,000s more in closing cost expenses, and you really have to go and understand that before even wanting to set up a showing on the property. There are things to consider. If it has, say, for instance, like a pool, you're going to want to make sure that you have the ability to go and establish an escrow. Many times they won't allow for you to go and do that. So there's a lot of careful considerations you have to make before you even go and set that showing appointment. So make sure you're making educated, wise decisions out there. Have a great day.